Welcome to the Transitions Daily podcast. Transitions Daily is an online recovery group that offers a daily distribution of popular recovery resources accompanied by a secret Facebook group for discussion. We hope you enjoy today's readings.
This is Transitions Daily for November 5th, read by Charlie L. from St. Paul, Minnesota. AA thoughts for the day. Service. Service gladly rendered. Obligations squarely met. Troubles well accepted or solved with God's help. The knowledge that at home or in the world outside we are partners in a common effort. The well understood fact that in God's sight all human beings are important. The proof that love freely given surely brings a full return. The certainty that we are no longer isolated and alone in self-constructed prisons. The surety that we need no longer be square pegs in round holes, but can fit and belong in God's scheme of things. These are permanent and legitimate satisfactions of right living, for which no amount of pomp and circumstance, no heap of material possessions could possibly be substitutes. 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, page 124. Thought to consider. Service is spirituality in action. Acronyms. Hope. Helping other people every day. Just for today. Test that theory from A Drunk Like You. Now, somehow, between the time I lost my job and my flight to the convention, I decided maybe I was not an alcoholic and I needed to test that theory. After all, I was a researcher, and things had to be tested. I decided that on the plane, it seemed like a safe place, I would put the question to the test. If I could have one drink and no more, I was not an alcoholic. Alcoholics can't do that. So when the stewardess came by to ask me if I wanted a drink, I said yes. She put 2 little bottles worth in a glass, no ice, thank you very much, and went up the aisle. On her way back, she asked if I wanted another, and I said yes. I drank for the whole flight, before dinner, during dinner, and after dinner. As we approached our destination, I searched my pocket for a pen to fill out the in-flight magazine response card. I found this large coin. I took it out to see what it was. It was my 90-day pocket piece, and I was reminded of what I was doing. And the thought came to me, wow, those guys at the meeting were right. I am powerless over alcohol. I put that coin back in my pocket, and from that day to this, some 15 and a half years later, I have had no urge to drink. Alcoholics Anonymous, page 404. Daily Reflections. The quality of faith. This has to do with the quality of faith. In no deep or meaningful sense had we ever taken stock of ourselves. We had not even prayed rightly. We had always said, "Grant me my wishes," instead of, "Thy will be done." 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, page 32. God does not grant me material possessions, take away my suffering, or spare me from disasters. But he does give me a good life, the ability to cope, and peace of mind. My prayers are simple. First, they express my gratitude for the good things in my life, regardless of how hard I have to search for them. And second, I ask only for strength and wisdom to do his will. He answers with solutions to my problems, sustaining my ability to live through daily frustrations with a serenity I did not believe existed, and with the strength to practice the principles of AA in all of my everyday affairs. As Bill sees it. Spiritual axiom. It is a spiritual axiom that every time we are disturbed, no matter what the cause, there is something wrong with us. If somebody hurts us and we are sore, we are in the wrong too. But are there no exceptions to this rule? What about justifiable anger? If someone cheats us, aren't we entitled to be mad? And shouldn't we properly be angry with self-righteous folks? For us of AA, these adventures in anger are sometimes very dangerous. We have found that even justified anger ought to be left to those better qualified to handle it. 12 and 12, page 90. Big Book quote. The promises. If we are painstaking about this phase of our development, we will be amazed before we are halfway through. We are going to know a new freedom and a new happiness. We will not regret the past nor wish to shut the door on it. We will comprehend the word serenity and we will know peace. No matter how far down the scale we have gone, we will see how our experience can benefit others. That feeling of uselessness and self-pity will disappear. We will lose interest in selfish things and gain interest in our fellows. Self-seeking will slip away. Our whole attitude and outlook upon life will change. Fear of people and of economic insecurity will leave us. We will intuitively know how to handle situations which used to baffle us. We will suddenly realize that God is doing for us what we could not do for ourselves. Alcoholics Anonymous, 4th edition. Into Action, page 83. 24 hours a day. AA thought for the day. During our thoughts about the rewards that have come to us as a result of our new way of living, we find that we have new kinds of homes, new relationships with our spouses and our children. Also peace, contentment, hope, faith, charity, and new ambition. What are some of the things we have lost? Each of us can answer this question in many ways. I have lost much of my fear. It used to control me. It was my master. It paralyzed my efforts. Fear always got me down. It made me an introvert, an ingrown person. When fear was replaced by faith, I got well. Have I lost some of my fears? Meditation for the day. The world would sooner be brought close to God. His will would sooner be done on earth if all who acknowledge him give themselves unreservedly to being used by him. God can use every human being as a channel for divine love and power. What delays the bringing of the world closer to God is the backwardness of his followers. If each one lived each day for God and allowed God to work through him, then the world would soon be drawn much closer to God, its founder and preserver. Prayer for the day. I pray that I may be used as a channel to express the divine love. I pray that I may so live as to bring God's Spirit closer to the world. Hazelden Foundation, P.O. Box 176, Center City, Minnesota 55012. I'm Charlie L., and I'm an alcoholic.
We hope you enjoyed today's readings. You can also receive Transitions Daily via email and discuss today's readings in our secret Facebook group. So for more information, go to dailyaaemails.com today.
Other than the 24 hours a day reading, unless otherwise specified, all quotes copyright Alcoholics Anonymous World Services, Inc., 1952, 1957, 1967, 1973, 1975, 1976, 1980, 1981, 1984, 1985, 1988, 1990, or 2001.